there, my fellow Wedding Florist friends, and welcome to the Wedding Florist Social Podcast. This is the podcast for wedding florists to learn all about acing their online presence. I'm your host, Vicky Laffey, and as a wedding florist of over 10 years now and a certified digital marketer, I want to help you get the right clients, get more followers, and never be stuck for content ideas again. Click the link in my description to get your free Wedding Florist Guide to Social Media Content Creation today. Hello, my fellow florists. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Thank you for joining me. I hope you find today's topic interesting. I am talking about should you run consultations in the evenings. Now, I've entitled the podcast that, but it really does stand for should you run consultations at times when you don't want to run them, essentially. Now, I think this is quite an interesting one, and it stemmed from somebody posting something on one of the florist Facebook groups that I'm on, actually, and I can't even remember which one now. But they said that I think the basis of it was they had a client who was wanting to have a consultation with them, but they were only available in the evenings or something along those lines. And the evenings really doesn't work well for this person. And they were kind of asking the group to see if they run consultations in the evenings and to see if maybe she was kind of going to be missing out. Essentially, this florist was afraid they would be missing out if they didn't run consultations in the evenings. And this, of course, prompted a lot of comments with varying opinions on the matter. A lot of the florists did run consultations on the evenings. Some ran some on a Sunday and things like that. Now, I have some opinions of my own about this subject. I think as small business owners, as wedding florists, we have to set the boundaries. We absolutely have to set the boundaries, and whatever's right for you. You know, my time boundaries will not be the same as yours necessarily, but whatever's right for you, you need to stick to those boundaries. And it goes back to this subject in the last podcast about kind of putting your own interests and things like that first, and keeping control of the situation and not kind of giving, working around the client and the client's needs all of the time. If you let the client dictate things like this now, it's not going to set you up for a very good working relationship. So, if they're saying something that's completely different to your working practices, whatever those are, then and they're determined that they only want to meet at a certain time, or they're trying to dictate when you should meet, then that would be kind of an alarm bell for me, to be honest. That's not the kind of person that I like working with necessarily. So set your boundaries 100%. So for me, when somebody when somebody inquires, I send them an automatic reply, so with an email template set up to say things like, thank you so much for inquiring, etc., etc. I'd love to invite you in for a consultation. And then I also say I run consultations between the hours of 9:30 till 5 Monday to Friday and 10 till 3 Saturday, wedding dependent, of course. I do not run consultations on an evenings. I do not run consultations on a Sundays. And you know what? My business does absolutely fine. You have to set those boundaries at first, though. You have to lead them and tell them what your time availability is so that they can then choose which of those times is best for them. So, it might be that, for example, I had this the other day when I said this to a couple, and she said, "Oh, we finish work at 5 o'clock, so would you be available at 6 on the Friday?" I'm sorry, I'm not working at 6 o'clock on a Friday night. She, to be fair, was very nice about it. She wasn't being pushy, but I said, sure. Well, the consultations don't take ages. Would you be available for a Zoom call on a lunch hour or something, for example? If not, I'm available on the Saturday afternoon. And we ended up going for the Saturday afternoon, and everything's fine. Everything's lovely. There were a lot of members on this Facebook group that were saying, yes, I run them in the evenings because people work during the day. Well, do they? Well, this is it. I mean, yeah, of course, clients work all the different times, though. This is a case of some people assuming people work Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. You're assuming a situation about a customer, similar to what I said in the last podcast. It's your assumptions, and you're thinking, oh, they must work 9 till 5, so I'm going to run consultations in the evenings to accommodate them. But that's not the case, and also from your point of view, well, I certainly don't like working in the evenings because that's the time I like to take to relax. I want to be with my husband. I want to chill out for the evening. I eat on an evenings. I don't want to sit down for my evening meal and then sort of be thinking all the time I'm eating it, thinking, oh, well, I must prepare for that consultation at 8 p.m. I just can't do that. That would ruin my entire evening. And I'm just not willing to do it. I don't like working on an evenings, and it takes me a while to sort of zone out of it afterwards as well. So I just don't like to do it. And on Sundays, as much as possible, I like to leave those completely free. I like to maybe go somewhere with my husband, or just have a relaxing day, or catch up on the housework, or whatever it is. I don't want to be thinking about putting makeup on for a Zoom consultation and having to prepare a quote and things like that. So, yeah, it's just not for me. I think, a lot of people were saying, yes, I do this because my clients work or something like that. Well, I'm sorry, but if they can't make time to plan their wedding, it's not going to work. They should be making time during the day to plan for their wedding. And, I can guarantee you other suppliers will only be accepting consultations during the day. Or if it was a case of there was a wedding open day or something, or a wedding tasting, like a cake tasting thing or something that was on, a Monday afternoon, they'd sure as heck make time for that. So why is it different for you? Now, you'll have different times, of course, the things that work better for you. What one very respected fellow florist runs them on a Sunday morning between the hours of, I forget the hours, but, she has set hours, and that absolutely works for her. Absolutely fine. That's not something that would interest me, but that works for her, and that's the important thing. So, but the important thing is she tells those people when her availability is, and they choose out of those times. Absolutely. So should you run consultations in the evenings? There isn't a yes or no answer to this, but you should run consultations only when you are available. You need to remember, enjoy running your business. Your business needs to work for you and around you, not against you. This is something I've often said. So, constantly being dictated to by clients and their availability is just going to pull you all over the place. I'm lucky in the sense that I don't have children, so I don't have to sort of think of doing a lot of stuff on the evenings, like, preparing the school uniforms for the next day, or making their evening meals, or, doing the homework with them or anything like that. But if you do have children, then I think your time should be spent doing that, and not disappearing to your workshop or going on a Zoom call for a consultation with a couple who may not even book you at the end of the day. So set boundaries, control the boundaries. You should be the one dictating what happens and when, not the client, essentially. I'd be very interested to hear if you do run consultations in the evenings or on Sundays, on things like that, do feel free to drop me an email at hello@thecontentquota.co.uk and just, give me a bit of feedback. Tell me what you do. That would be amazing to hear. I'm always very interested to hear how other people do things. But, whatever is the case for you, you should absolutely stick to your guns, as it were. Because if you let the client control things now, even though it's in a nice way, it's not in a malicious way. If you let the client take the reins now, it's going to be like that for the rest of the journey. It really is. So control things now. You need to be guiding them, not the other way around. And in fact, guiding them, telling them when you're available, guiding them as to what's going to happen and when, will actually probably make them feel more cared for and more like this person knows what they're doing, and and it's when they feel in control that it kind of diminishes your control as well. And I'm saying the word control a lot, but you absolutely need to retain that control in order for you to continue to enjoy running your business and doing something that works for you. And please don't be afraid that you will lose a booking just because you don't want to meet on an evening when a client says they're available. You will absolutely not lose that booking. And if you did, then did you really want that client anyway? If a client really wants you, then my opinion is that they will accommodate you and they will work around you. If they're just after any old florist, then, they're going to book this person who is available the soonest or whoever works around them. That's fine. That, whatever works for them. But I'm trying to teach you guys that, you should build businesses that work for you, not against you. So there you go. That's my thoughts for the day. This is me just winging it, actually. I've not even prepared any notes or anything today. I don't know if you could tell, but this has all stemmed from something I've heard on Facebook groups a number of times. So I hope it's been useful for you. If it even helps you in your business, let me know. Drop me an email or, join the Facebook group and drop me a line on the Facebook group or whatever. Do let me know, because if that's helped you in your business and if that's given you some of your time back on an evenings or Sundays or whenever the case is for you, that would be amazing for me to hear. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope it's been useful, and flower on. Well, thanks so much for listening all the way to the end of Wedding Florist Social. Remember to hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future episodes. And if you want access to some free community and support, then head across to Facebook and look me up on the Worldwide Wedding Florist Community Group. I look forward to seeing you there.